I'm thrilled to share these fluffy bao buns, also known as Chinese steamed buns, with you today. This is actually my second attempt at making bao buns, but trust me, this recipe is foolproof. These pillowy and fluffy babies are an absolute must-try, so I highly recommend giving them a go, even though the kneading and proving process takes a bit of time. The best part, the filling ideas are limitless. However, for today, I'm going to top my buns with delicious Bulgogi pork loin, so let's get cooking. I've got 700 gram, 1.5 pound of pork loin, and I deboned and chopped it up into chunky pieces. Oh, don't forget to rinse the pork loin before cutting it up to remove any powdery bone pieces. I set it aside and made the bulgogi pork marinade by mixing soy sauce, mirin, honey, sugar, minced garlic, and ground pepper. Set aside about 2 tablespoons of marinade for later. Ideally, you should marinate the pork ahead of time, at least 1 hour in the fridge. To make the bao bun from scratch, start by combining flour, baking powder, instant dry yeast, sugar, vegetable oil, warm water, and warm milk in a bowl. Use a spatula to initially combine the dough. And once it starts forming dough, you can get in there with your hands. I added a little bit more oil as my dough feels a tad dry. Knead the dough for at least 5 minutes until the dough is cohesive and slightly springy when pressed down. To proof the dough, let it rest in a warm area for about 90 minutes or until it has doubled in size. If it's winter time or you want to speed up the process a bit, you can put the covered dough in an oven set to 30 to 40 degrees Celsius with a small bowl of water. I prepared the pickled carrot by firstly peeling it. Using a julienne peeler, I thinly julienne the carrot. If you don't have one, of course, you can simply slice it finely. In a bowl, I add apple cider vinegar, salt, and sugar. I mix well until the salt and sugar are dissolved. Then I add the carrot to this pickle mixture and set it aside. Spring onion adds a mild peppery balance to the dish, so make sure to include it in this recipe. For the sriracha mayo, simply add 3 tablespoons of mayo, 1 tablespoon of sriracha sauce, a squeeze of lemon juice, and a pinch of salt. My family is just too hungry and I decided to take the dough out a little bit earlier. The dough is definitely bigger but not quite double the size, but no worries. We knead the dough again for at least 5 minutes. This process helps develop gluten, resulting in a lighter and fluffier result. Next, take the dough and roll it out with a rolling pin until it reaches a thickness of about 0.2 to 0.3 inches. Apply a light coating of oil to both sides of the dough. Before cutting out the circles using a cookie cutter or a cup. Once the shapes are cut, fold the round dough in half and gently roll it out again. Now dough needs a second round of proofing. I know, but we are almost there, which will help the buns to rise and result in a softer and airy texture. Rest them in a warm spot for 15 to 30 minutes. In a pan over medium heat, add vegetable oil and bulgogi pork loin we marinated earlier. Cook the pork, turning occasionally until it caramelizes and becomes glossy. This usually takes about 5 to 7 minutes depending on the thickness of the pork pieces. Make sure to keep an eye on it and adjust the heat if needed to prevent burning. Finally, the buns are ready to be cooked. Put a steamer basket over a pot with about 1 to 2 inches of water and place the buns without crowding the steamer basket. It should take 5 to 10 minutes to cook these babies. Back to my pork, I add 2 tablespoons of bulgogi sauce I set aside earlier for extra shine, followed by sesame oil. The buns are now cooked and puffed up beautifully. Bao buns are soft and fluffy as I promised. I have topped our bao buns with a generous amount of succulent pork bulgogi, refreshing carrot pickles, spring onion, and a dollop of sriracha mayo. The fluffy and soft bao bun combined with the mouth-watering pork bulgogi, tangy carrot, fresh spring onions, and sriracha mayo, just so satisfying. Thanks again for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, keep cooking!